I think my earliest memories of listening to music was on like a Walkman. You know those Walkmans with the little disc you put in? And my parents had a bunch of CDs from college.
Whoa. Walkman with a disc. All right, I remember Walkmans with cassettes. So yeah.
Yeah, I've never used a cassette Walkman before, but
neither have I. Let's just age Logan. Let's just make a habit of making sure we know how old you are, Logan.
I hate this.
Neither of us have ever used what you're talking about, a Walkman with a cassette tape. No. How do you even carry that around? You don't. You have to sit stationary to hold that thing.
Like... No. They had a nice little armband.
That's awesome.
Never mind. I don't want to talk about it.
I kind of want one now.
No, you don't.
I might, my first album, I might just put it strictly on cassette.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of On The Porch with Front Porch Music, co-hosted by me, Jenna Weishar, and Logan Miller. We're excited to dive in and chat with this week's guest about how country music has evolved over the years, the support of a hometown crowd, and much more. Best known for his single Smoke Man, and being a huge fan of Eric Church, might I add, our guest is also the writer, producer, and performer of the On The Porch with Front Porch Music theme song. Stick around for our chat with Owen Riegling.
So pull up a chair and join us on the porch for our conversation. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you having me out. This is cool.
Nobody can see you and what you're wearing, but you're wearing an orange hat, and I already made fun of you for it. It looks like you're about to go out into the bush.
I thought we were doing a video podcast here, so I wear my Sunday best, but I guess it's all for nothing.
Well, good thing it's Saturday.
Yeah, well, that's right. It is Saturday, I guess. Nobody knows that, though. It could be Tuesday right now.
Oh, you're right. Whenever you're listening, that's what day it is.
That's what day it is, and we are not going out into the bush hunting. That is a matter of fact.
Well, so Owen, first of all, let's just tell the world who's listening that you have joined us on the podcast, and you have created our theme song.
Yeah,
awesome.
Fun. I mean, hopefully it's all right. I don't know if you guys would tell me if it's bad or not. You've just been saying it's good. So I mean, if you like it, you like it for sure.
Well, Jenna and I are not musicians. Spoiler alert. So literally anything would be better than what either of us would create.
Precisely. We leave this up to the people who do it best.
The professionals.
Like I was telling you before, I've just been whistling it and humming it. It's stuck in my head, and it's getting annoying for me, honestly.
Well, be prepared to hear it every other week.
Yeah, I still got some work to do on it. So
you have to listen every other week. Also, that means.
Well, I'll be listening every week.
Perfect.
I guess every other week.
We have a fan already.
Yes.
This fan.
So full disclosure to everyone that this is, a pre-recorded episode, obviously, and this is the first one that we're recording. So we're kind of we're still getting our legs here.
Yeah, please go easy on us, and thanks to Owen for bearing through it with us. We've already had enough hiccups this morning.
Yeah,
I'm honored to be the first guest, guys. It's a huge honor.
The inaugural guest.
Yeah. We've already had issues with our audio because Jenna and I are dumb and couldn't figure it out.
Yep.
And then the internet went out, and then the service that we used to record these was we're having technical difficulties. So basically, it's just been a great morning.
Happy to be here. We've made it this far.
The sun's shining. It's a good Saturday.
We're
on a podcast. What could we complain about, right?
Exactly. So Owen, let's get to know you a bit. Jenna knows you decently well. I mean, you guys are from the same area of the world, but I don't know a whole lot about you. So why don't you, take me back to the beginning? Take me to the roots. Where are you from?
I'm from the metropolis of Mildmay, Ontario.
Metropolis.
Huge city.
What,
Big
population 20?
A little more than 20. Less than 1,500. I'd probably say the sign says 1,000, but I'd probably say 1,200 now.
Ooh.
I live outside of town on a 100-acre farm, and I'm actually in a driving shed right now. I don't know if it's echoey or boomy or nothing, but I'm talking to these headphones, so hopefully it's all right. I don't know. I'm bad at icebreakers. I remember in college, they do the icebreakers, and I would just say basically what I just said.
So from a small town, from a very small town, how
Very
does
small.
is your family musical, or does music come natural to you?
I don't know who plays music in my family. I don't think anybody does. My sister played piano for like a couple years. My dad, I think, took piano lessons as a kid, but he doesn't know how to play anymore. I don't know where it
So,
comes from.
interesting. So were you did you grow up around music? Did your parents always have music on, or where did the passion spark from, do you think?
I think my earliest memories of listening to music was on like a Walkman. You know those Walkmans with the little disc you put in. And my
Dude.
parents had a bunch of CDs from
Whoa,
college.
whoa. Walkman with a disc. All right. I remember Walkmans with cassettes. So yeah.
I've never used a cassette Walkman before, but
Neither have I. Let's just age Logan. Let's just make a habit of making sure we know how old you are, Logan.
I hate this.
Neither of us
Okay.
have ever used what you're talking about, a Walkman with a cassette tape. No. How do you even carry that around? You don't. You have to sit stationary to hold that thing.
No. They had a nice little armband.
that's awesome.
Never mind. I don't want to talk about it.
I kind
Me
of want
neither.
one now.
No, you don't.
I might, my first album, I might just put it strictly on cassette.
I've seen a couple artists doing that lately.
Is
And I'm
that
like,
right?
that's kind of cool, but not one person can play it.
No. Our grandparents can.
It's a
And
bit of a
Logan,
novelty.
obviously.
I could play it. So you were listening to music, your first memory on a Discman.
Yeah. I was burnt CDs from my parents. I don't know, they were in college or their college CDs, or I don't know. Like Steve Miller Band, I remember that a lot. Best of Steve Miller Band CD. Not really country at all. Some Eminem. Yeah, just all kinds of weird music. But I think that's my first memory. I would sing along all the time, and it was really bad. And I got a guitar when I was 11 for Christmas out of the Sears catalog. And I took guitar lessons for a year. And I learned how to play power chords, and it was pretty awesome. I had an amp, and it had distortion, and I thought I was rocking out. It was probably really bad. But yeah, that's kind of how I started. When I was like 11, I got a guitar, and then I gave it up because I was really into video games when I was a kid, until probably the age of 16. And then I kind of just went hard into the guitar. I learned how to kind of sing a bit and started playing some gigs, and I just never really stopped since then. So
was there a moment where someone was like, dude, you can sing? What was the switch that flipped? That you had understood that I think I actually have some talent?
Or
do you even know?
No, I don't really I was really, really bad when I first started, so bad. I can't even listen to videos. It's just and in the moment I thought I was all right, you know? I feel like in 5 years from now, I'll look back at me now and be like, oh, it's terrible. But I think that's just how it goes. Listening to yourself sing is it's not very appealing, at least for me. But yeah, I don't know. It's been fun. I remember the first time I played a gig, I got in the car afterwards. We were driving home, and I was like, yep, this is cool. I want to do that again.
When was your first gig? Oh, jinx.
First gig, it was at a Legion or something. I was playing with my guitar teacher and his family band. I played 5 songs. I had my telly. He was a big telly guy, and we jammed out, and I messed up a bunch, forgot the words. Guitar was out of tune, but it was fun. Yeah, and ever since then, I've been keen.
That's what gave you the bug?
Yeah, for sure.
How long
specifically.
You didn't initially pursue music as your thing, though. You went to business school first, no? Didn't you try that out?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I was full on music. I wanted to go to music. I wanted to do music for school, but I just didn't really know anything about music at that time. I knew that I liked country music, but I didn't know if there was a country music program, or you know what I mean? I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do business. No interest in business, but I was like, let's go to college because it's gonna be fun. We'll go to Res, we'll have some fun. I'll stick with the music, maybe get some gigs down there. I ended up getting a gig at a little pub across from Fanshawe, and it was kind of fun. It was a cool experience. Met some new people, met some artists, and then Fanshawe is kind of what this is where I learned of OER, where I went after business school. I met some guys down there who were talking about it, and I looked it up, and I was like, this is pretty sweet, and I want to go to college.
What was it?
OER, music school. It's audio school.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I learned how to produce, I guess, or what I call producing, record music and put it into a DAW and create.
It's a pretty intense program. I looked it up. Like, you've got 11 months that you jam. Like, on their homepage, it says they jammed like 2 years of school into 11 months.
Yeah, it's intense.
Wow.
Very intense.
Yeah. How was it? What did you learn? Tell us about the whole thing. It sounds frightening.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
there was like 40, 50 students, so it was pretty small classes. They split you up into 2 groups, and you learn like event production, audio production, like recording in the studio, and then like film, like audio for film and stuff like that. I was really into the audio production, obviously, making music and just learning how all of that goes down. There's so much to it, which I didn't know. It's pretty common to have like a 10-hour day at the school. You get there.
Whoa.
Yeah. And you get there like, I don't know, 8:30 or 9 or something. Then you don't leave the studio till 9 or 10 at night most times.
So when you look back on it, are you like, that was like the best time ever, or like that was hard?
It was hard for the first bit for me because it was just so much. It was like just thrown right into it. And that's just kind of how it is. But as the year went on and you got used to that, and you got to meet people and you get to know the professors and stuff, you kind of just want to be there. And third semester, there's a lot more freedom too, so you can really do as much as you want. You can be there and their studio's open and you get to just use the gear and have fun with it. So
you were only like 19 when you went to school for this, right? Like,
yeah,
you weren't very old. That's a lot of like. That's
I think
a lot.
I was like 20.
Yeah, that's a lot of
that's
like,
like
to throw somebody into. Like,
that's like
commitment.
That's typical post-secondary age, though, isn't it?
I guess.
It's been so long since I've been there.
Like university or college, you go to school for like what, 6 hours a day tops. Like I have a bachelor's degree in like the arts, so I didn't have 8 hours of school on any given day. There were days
That's true.
that I went without school, like class, right?
True. There were a lot of days that I skipped too.
10 hours is like, no, thank you.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not really like, it's not school for 10 hours. Like it's something you want to do, right?
Yeah.
So hours, they usually fly by.
Yeah.
Like you're listening to music, you're learning about how to make music. It's interesting, right? I mean, there's obviously times where you're like, I remember when I went to Fanshawe Business School, it was like not very much schooling for me. I didn't really go to many classes.
By choice or just by design?
A bit of both.
That's funny. Well,
so did you graduate from Fanshawe?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you finished your Fanshawe program too?
Yeah. I guess I never picked up my diploma, but I did graduate.
It's just sitting there in the hollows somewhere. That's sad. But you did it.
I can probably go get it still. I should.
You should just email
I should
them.
go get that.
Hey, class of.
Yeah.
Do you still have this? Can I have it? OER is where your first single Smoke Man started from, though, too, right? That was like your major project, technically?
Yeah, it was a third semester project. Third semester. I wrote Smoke Man that semester, and I was like, this is cool. I should record this. And then I just did it, and that's what it is.
Did you do it by yourself?
I love that song.
Pardon?
Logan loves it. I want to know if you did it all by yourself.
Thank you, Logan. And
you're welcome.
I did a lot of it by myself. Yeah, I had my friend Jen from school recorded the bass, and I did all like the audio work, but I had other musicians come in and play. Jeremy, who is like the social media guy there still, he played the drums on it, and
cool.
That was a lot of fun. And then I just experimented. Like we had like 2-3 months to make a song, so I was just messing around, doing lots of different vocal stuff and writing and different arrangements. And there were so many different versions of that song, but
I'm just gonna say we need to hear the other versions of it.
Yeah, like there's tons of different, like it all follows the same structure, but like different parts and elements to the song and different mixes. Like I mixed it like 4 or 5 different times.
How did you pick the one that you wanted? Like
it was the first mix. The first mix is what we came back to. Yeah, that's how it always is.
Yeah.
Like if you are really into something and you dive in for the first time, that's usually the best with anything. Like if you're really into it and then you try to like refine it. I mean, it's good to refine stuff, and it definitely took elements of that, but you just go too far. you know?
We've heard that from other artists too. Like Dustin Bird kind of said the same thing about his latest single. Like he was obsessed with the first conception of it and just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
It's not that easy all the time, though. It can't be.
No, that's true. I mean, the first time is like you're following your gut, right? This feels right in the moment. You don't know what you're making yet. You're just going with something. I can hear this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going with it. But then after you've heard it 10, 15, 20, more like 100 times, you start to lose some creativity because you're just focused on what's already there and you can't really hear it another way.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's when you start wrecking it, I find. Because you're trying to find something that it doesn't need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's making sense.
No, it is actually making sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to us non-producers.
It does. So Smokeman actually was like a big thing. Like your local crowd, first of all, your local crowd is the most supportive I've ever seen.
Yeah, like before we move on, I have to say, like, anytime that there's something that's mentioned about you on Front Porch, the website basically sees the most traffic ever.
It breaks.
Like there's been twice now where the website's gone down because there's been so much traffic to the site. So like like I said to Jenna, like the first time that she mentioned you, I had no full transparency. I had no idea who you were. And I was like, yeah, sure, post it to the site. And then the site went bananas. And I was like, does this guy just have a lot of friends and family? Like, what the hell?
I didn't pre-warn him anything. That's at all. I just sent him the piece and was like, this is Owen. And here, it went pretty nice.
And
awesome.
I mean, it also helps that like Smoke Man, the song is banging. Like, I love it. So like, yeah, talk about your fan base. Like your local fan base is like, fierce.
Yeah, they're awesome. And it's just a small town thing. There's not too many musicians around here. Like I don't really know of that many country artists per se, which is kind of weird because we're kind of out in the country.
Yeah,
we literally live the story, the whole premise.
Yeah, but I think it's just because there's not that many musicians. Maybe I'm just the only guy they can.
They have no choice but to support you. That's what you're saying.
You have a monopoly on the area.
Yeah, like, exactly.
There's a bar, you're playing at it.
Yeah, that's true. I was playing at a bar last night in Mildmay. Harley's. Shout out Harley's.
God.
Harley's is like your hometown spot. You shouted out in Part of Me? I feel like you shouted out
Corner
Harley's
bar. Yeah.
The corner bar. Yeah.
It's a good call.
See, Logan, I could tell you all the streets in Mildmay too.
I'd say I should come visit it, but
you should. Come
it's so far away.
Beers sometime, and we'll do like a live podcast. That'd be fun.
Ooh, that would okay. Yeah, but let's make it a business expense, and then I'll be there.
Yeah, just
and you can help us set up next time because you know more than we do.
I'd be so keen for that. That'd be fun.
We won't have as many audio difficulties. Being from a small town, I would have assumed that country music was kind of in your veins. But earlier you said that country music wasn't really your thing growing up. So do you know, like, can you pinpoint the point when country music became a point of interest to you, or like when you became a fan, or when you realized that you enjoyed writing country music?
It was all Eric Church. That's where it.
Yeah,
Jenna, we can just interview you about Owen.
Yeah, that's Jenna. I'll just log off.
Yeah, we don't even need you here.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I wasn't into country music. I preferred listening to I don't even know like what you'd call it. I just wasn't. I mean, it was always around. Like my grandpa loved country music. We'd listen to AM radio all the time. It would always be on in their kitchen. You know how you have like the grandparent that just leaves the radio on all the time?
AM 920 CKNX.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I'd say my love for like modern kind of sounding country music happened when I was in high school, and like going to high school parties, everybody's cranking country music, and it's like the classic, like the Eric Church stuff, the older stuff, like the Chief record. And
that's such a great record.
That's my favorite one for sure. Because that's just the one that, well, I guess that's the one that sent him. And yeah, I just have a lot of memories tied to that album. And Springsteen was the song. I think Jenna already knows that. That's the song that I heard. I was like, this is cool. Like, I want to make this kind of music.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, I can kind of like hear the influence, especially with Smoke Man.
For sure. Eric Church is the biggest influence on me, for sure.
Your brand
cool.
isn't necessarily outlaw country, but it almost is. You're also, I don't know how to say his last name, Tyler Childers?
Yeah.
Childers? Yeah. You're a fan of that guy, right?
Oh yeah.
It's
Big
pretty
time.
dope.
I think I'm just a fan of what's different. Like that's the kind of stuff that I don't really make music like Tyler. That like I write lots of songs that I try to like be like that, but I wouldn't necessarily say that's my lane. But I'm really into what he's doing, and it's just awesome. Like
yeah, I
got
feel
a
like you're
cool
creating
voice.
your own like space because you're also not something we hear everywhere we go. Like there's a particular brand, if you will, that is Owen Riegling, and you can hear exactly where your influencers are from, but it's still like uniquely you. Not to like blow your head up too much here, obviously, but like I just feel like
I appreciate that. That's actually like such an awesome compliment because I don't even know what I'm doing. Like I feel like I don't necessarily
I feel like you know a little bit what you're doing.
I know, but like when I'm writing a song, like a lot of times I'm like, what did I just write? Like it's not country. It's not, I don't even know what genre this is. And I run it by my band and I'm like, what even is this? They're like, I don't know what this is, but
we dig it,
just,
right?
As long as I'm the one singing it, it's just me, right? So
yeah,
it's country. It's some influence from other stuff. Like this new stuff that I'm working on right now is like very different, but I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be cool.
I said earlier, like I didn't grow up with country music. My only thought of country music was the stereotypical like my dog died and all that kind of stuff. That's what I thought country music was when I was a kid. And then I started working in country radio, and then that's when I started getting really immersed into the world of country. And now that's all obviously that's what I love. But what I love so much about the genre and why it drew me in is that the writing is all stories. The emotion and the storytelling in country music is what kind of really drew me to it. And your music really fits in that, whether it's like traditional country or outlaw country or whatever country it is. It tells a story, and that's what country music is, in my opinion.
It's kind of cool because we're going through this like huge change, I want to say. Because if you asked me 3 years ago, I would like be here listening to the radio, but this isn't even country. What are we listening to? But I think there's this like cool change that's happened for many of us. There are still some people who are going to say country died in the year whatever. Like
we get that comment all the time, which drives me nuts.
But it's cool because it's expanded significantly, and I think the learning behind where the country genre was built out of is kind of helping us to realize like it's not about a particular guitar, it's not about a particular sound, it's not about this traditional whatever. There's so much that went into building that original country and western music, and it was already influenced by so much that you can't just hold it to something now. That would just be ridiculous. It has to grow too, and it has to change. And if you don't agree with me, I don't really care.
Well, I mean, all music has changed. Like pop music has changed. Rock music has changed. All music has changed. So like I can understand why people appreciate the old country and want it to stay that way. And I love when new artists have influences of traditional country. I think it brings a new sound to it. But to expect it to stay the same, it would have gone stale. And it did go stale for a while. It did go stale for a while. And then I think it was the 90s when there was like the country revolution. I think I just made that up. But when country started to become a lot more popular and more pop, it really kind of expanded and expanded the audience, which kept the genre alive.
Totally.
100%. And like you said, if it just stayed the same forever, it would literally just die. Nothing stays the same forever. It's always evolving. As humans,
it would suck if it stayed the same.
Evolving. We're always trying to make something new, right? So it's gonna happen. And whether people like it or not, that's just the way it is.
Exactly. I mean, there are some songs that make it to the radio. I'm like, why is this on the radio? But someone likes it, and that's fine too. I mean, that's what I love about music.
Yeah, do you ever find those songs, like the ones that those songs that are weird, and you're like, why is this on the radio? Do you find that they sometimes grow on you? Because it happens to me. I'm like, this is
every
so out there.
time.
What is this? This is crazy.
Fancy Like by Walker Hayes.
I was just gonna say Walker Hayes, Fancy Like.
Ridiculous. That song should have died in a corner. And here it is, and it's catchy, and I can hear it in my head sometimes, and I hate that for me. But everybody has
I freaking love that song.
Has a life of its own.
I hated it the first 10 times I heard it, and then I just kept hearing it on TikTok, and then now I love it.
That song was definitely built for TikTok. They're like, this is gonna be big, and it is huge. And think about how many more songs that's gonna influence an artist. They're like, okay, this is what's gonna happen, and it's gonna create this whole you know what I mean? That's just how it is.
really dope, like 1 minute of John Mayer on there. And I'm not the only one who wants to hear a full cover, but
All right, we can do that.
Please deliver.
We can make that happen.
That was dope. That was dope. Have you
I
heard
do
it,
like that
Logan, or are
song.
you a fake fan?
How dare you? But no, I haven't heard it.
You're nuts. It's actually quite good.
Yeah,
Your
speaking
TikTok
of,
is pretty consistent too. Like you get, I mean, I texted you when I found your TikTok. I was like, how? I've just got here. Like, but yeah,
I gotta post
you got
some
a
more
nice
videos
little,
on there.
yeah, grow that interaction space, man.
I just wanna. I don't know what to post on there. Like, I'm just trying to think of stuff because I feel like TikTok is like huge right now. Everybody's posting on there, right?
Yep.
But I don't know. I'm not the type of person to like. I'm not good at thinking of what to post. You know, I can't think of something that's gonna be catchy or something that's gonna blow up. I just can't.
Well, thirst traps always work.
Thirst traps.
Jesus Christ.
I seen you're doing some TikTok stuff there, Logan.
I thought you were gonna say you seen me doing some thirst traps. Like you have not.
I don't even know what a thirst trap is.
Well, we don't have to go there. Yeah, I'm enjoying TikTok. I mean, I spent the majority of the pandemic just scrolling through TikTok. And then I was like, I need to do something productive with my life. And maybe I should, instead of just scrolling, maybe I should contribute and try to grow the Front Porch audience on there. And I don't know, I tried a few things, and then we kind of came up with some ideas for some features. And it's super fun. I really like it.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's a great way to grow the business, or you know what I mean? It's a great way to grow the page.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people on TikTok. There's so many country music fans on TikTok. If you can find a market on TikTok, I think it's probably well worth your time.
If you can shoot an arrow and hit the right algorithm, it's a good thing. That's pretty
there's like a whole lot of luck involved. What is your relationship with social media, Owen?
Not good at it. That's gonna be my New Year's resolution. Be better at social media. Try to
that's the opposite of everybody else. Everybody else is like, I need to get off. I need to scroll less. I need to set timers on my social media. And you're just like, I need to find my way there. That's
not that I'm not on it all the time. Like I'm always scrolling, and it's just like meaningless. Like pick my phone up, and I've deleted it so many times, and like delete it, and it's not on my phone for like 2 weeks, and it clears my head, and then I get it back, and then it's right back to just like picking my phone up, going through Instagram every 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's insane. But I'm not good at actually posting stuff on there. That's something that I want to work on. Like maybe trying to post something every day, or you know what I mean? Just I've told myself that before, and it lasts for like 4 days, and then I'm done.
Yeah, social media has an interesting space in the music industry. I mean, in every industry, I guess. But artists are just like expected to be there all the time in order to get those streams, and I don't know. It seems exhausting for an artist.
Yeah, for sure. But I guess that's just the way you got to be in today's music industry. I think it's just as much about marketing yourself as it is being a good musician.
Yeah,
kind of sucks.
Did they teach you any marketing or any like social media stuff in school?
Or
is it all based on like audio and production?
All based on mostly just audio.
I feel like you didn't learn anything about social media in your business program.
Oh, maybe business. Like I said, I didn't go to very many classes.
You did. You probably did, and you missed it.
No, but I mean like specifically for the music industry, like it's the same at radio school. Apparently they don't teach you anything digital or anything like social media or marketing really, and it seems like it's almost a bit of a disservice to the artist.
Yeah, because what artist out of the gate can afford to hire somebody to manage their social platforms and market them and pay for PR? That's crazy.
Yeah, I think having a good personality and not being afraid to show it on like social media is like a really good quality to have.
Yeah,
like that's what people connect with. You know what I mean? And
do we just set your goal for next year, putting your personality on the internet?
Maybe. Who knows? I mean, I don't really have a good personality. I'm just kind of quiet. I don't really say much. Yeah, I'm gonna try to maybe you'll see some more posts from me in the new year.
We won't hold you to it if you don't, though.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe you should hold me to it. Actually, maybe that'll.
Okay, sorry. Never mind. Accountability.
I better get text from you every day. I need to see a post today, Owen. Come on.
That's the actual goal of this podcast, is just to make Owen post on social media every day. Every week from here on out, we're gonna call you out.
We're going to put you as a collaborator on every single post that we put on the internet. So you have to post it too, even if it's just not even remotely related to you. You have to. That's the alternative. You post about yourself or you post what we're doing and you become like a channel for our own marketing purposes.
That sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about your music. We had your EP. Well, we had Smoke Man, and then we had your EP, and then we had Part of Me. You released that early this year, right? I'm trying to put the timeline back together. I kind of forget. But you haven't put anything out recently.
Yeah, I released that. Wait, I released the EP in 2020.
Was that in 2021?
2020. I only released A Part of Me in 2021. That's the only song I've released this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
actually
why.
Bragged to the locals when I had your EP via voice notes or whatever you sent me. I was like, hey, look what I got. Because everybody's like, Owen Riegling. And I'm like, look what I got.
Yeah, Jenna really loves being the first to have things.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with having it first.
We'll get like some songs to the Front Porch inbox and she'll be like, can you send it to me? I want to hear it.
Yeah. We got one yesterday and I was like, the number of people that have heard this is so small. I feel so cool. That's what I live for.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Jenna just loves to be, preferential treatment.
When I was, that's not even
ahead of the
when
curve,
I was younger, you didn't have those friends who were like, have you heard the song? Like I listened to them first. I'm the first one to hear it. And I was just like I was quiet, but I was like, I heard that 3 fucking months ago. Where have you been? And
yeah.
As like it started, I was like, I'm not the person, but I'm like, I heard it first. I totally heard it first. And now I'm just like, I get to hear it first. That's that's the greatest joy of this job is hearing things first. So if you're listening,
that's awesome. I know what you're saying. Like there's a lot of bands or like people that I listen to that are just starting out that I'm like, this is awesome. And then everybody else comes on and then it's like their thing. It's like, no, this is my thing. I know these people.
You don't
that actually happened with like there's a couple bands. Like, do you know who Coolio is? Kind of maybe you don't know who that is.
No. And now I feel like Jenna's like really upset that she doesn't know who it is.
I'm actually kind of upset. I'm like, why aren't you passing me these recs?
Yeah, maybe that's not how you say his name. I might have said his name wrong, but I've been listening to that artist for a long time. And then my buddies, like last night, were listening to it. I was like, no way. And they're telling me, have you heard this song? I'm like, yeah, man, I've heard this song. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I think that's why Jenna and I get along so well. Like we're both kind of like music hipsters. Like we just like to to have our our finger on the pulse of what's coming out.
You can't call yourself a hipster. It has to happen naturally. That's literally the whole point. You just are. You can't just claim yourself to be a hipster. Owen's a hipster. He heard it first, literally. People are listening to
I'm a hipster.
6 months later than him. He's wearing an orange hat. He's literally sitting in a shed right now. That is hipster as fuck if I ever heard it.
Is that the definition of a hipster right there or what?
I just made it up. Yes. Period. It is.
Yeah, I don't even know if there even is a definition of a hipster.
That's the whole point.
Ugh, what? I'm so annoyed with this conversation right now. Ugh.
All right, back to your what's up? What's going on next year? What are you making right now? What have you been working on? You said your new sound or your new stuff is going to have a new sound a little bit. You're really excited about it. Give us a tease.
I'm not going to release anything until I know it's like what I want it to be, because that's something that I have done with pretty much everything I've released is like, oh, I got the song, I'm going to record it. And then I record it and then I put it out like literally the next week. Just like, there it is. And then it's too late. It's already out. And I want to just take my time with what I'm doing now. Make something that I know I'm going to be proud of, because I don't know, it is different too. It's not necessarily that country, but I don't think Smoke Man's that country either. It's kind of like along those lines. You know what I mean? When it's there, I'll send you a sneak peek.
I best get that. I expect that every time from you now.
Yeah, that's the only reason why Jenna does this with Front Porch. She just wants, access to early music.
That's what I do. Okay.
And to interview cool people.
Yeah, there
are this perks is awesome. And benefits. I'm glad we
Not you. We're talking about other cool people. Not to be.
That's freaking rude.
It's funny, is what it is.
I'm
for the record, you're a cool person.
Podcast.
Oh, if you've seen Owen's like live crowd, the people love him. He knows he's cool. Like, it's rowdy. I have watched from behind the crowd.
Yeah, we've seen you at Queen's Bush, that one gig.
Yeah, right? There was that.
And the wedding that I played.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that one bit.
Oh, yeah,
couldn't.
sorry.
Why? Because you were drunk?
You probably saw me flat out on the ground. Like, I went from fine to not fine. Couldn't tell you a single song you played other than the first dance. And then I went inside and took a nap. Like, that's how that wedding went for me.
That's awesome. That means it was
You
a
are
good night, though.
Wild.
I don't claim to be.
Yeah, hopefully now that
Yeah, you
COVID's kind of over with, we'll get the chance to maybe link up in person at some shows. I want to go to a bunch of shows this year. That's another resolution of mine. Just go to a bunch of live events and go to everything when they can.
Yeah, same here. I'm so excited for live music to be back.
Yeah, live shows next year. We're going to all of them.
Every single one.
Yep. Count me in. Owen, you tagging along, buddy?
Oh yeah, I'm totally in. I'm going to a couple here coming up. James Barker Band, CCMA weekend, Bahamas show. Ariel Posen is opening, and I'm pumped for that. That's the following weekend at London Music Hall.
Nice. For a hot second, I thought you meant you were going to the Bahamas for a show.
No, I'm not going to the destination, but
the
band in Ontario.
Well, Owen, we're coming to the end here. So where can people find you?
They can find me at Owen Riegling Music on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. I'm on YouTube too, but I don't think I have any videos up there right now. Yeah, Instagram's the big one. I'm gonna be posting every day in the new year, so
so us and everyone else listening is gonna hold you accountable to that one.
All right, sounds good.
Well, thanks so much, Owen.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me out. This has been great.
Yeah, of course. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Cheers, guys.
Thanks so much for joining us on The Porch with Front Porch Music. I love talking to artists and digging deep into the world of Canadian country music, and I'm so excited you joined. If you liked this episode, please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. That's the easiest way for you to support this show. You may even get a shout out. So we'll see you in a couple weeks next time on The Porch. On The Porch with Front Porch Music is hosted by me, Logan Miller, and Jenna Weishar. The theme song was written, produced, and performed by Owen Riegling.